when it was all pickup. Anybody with a ball and a pair of shoes, dude, you could walk up next. I got winners, and you were in. Now, dude, you can't call winners. You gotta be invited onto the court. In fact, they ain't even telling you where the game's being played.
Select Kobe Bryant from Lower Merion High School in Pennsylvania.
So many people said it's not good for high school players to go right to the NBA. What do you have to say now?
The enormous growth of club basketball, sometimes called AAU.
The high school kid is the #5 pick in the NBA draft, Kevin Garnett.
There are many, many abuses. 12-year-olds are playing 100 games a summer. Obviously, something's out of whack, but that's what happens when the rewards are so high.
An AAU coach taking money intended to steer Ben McLemore to Kansas.
The kid is the product, so if you got the product, people will come. Everybody's making money.
It's like the Wild Wild West. It's part of the process now to making it in basketball.
Runners, agents, shoe companies, this is the game.
I always threaten him with the beast. But the beast has been out there since 5 this morning. He's been shooting and stretching and running and practicing his D so that when your ass comes out to try out and he's out there, you ain't making the team. Your ass at 5'10", 150 pounds, when they look, you don't pass the look test. So since you don't pass the look test, when you get out there...
Don't stop, won't stop, boy. Bang that, bang that.
BTA, baby. Bust their ass. Bust their ass. Do not wait.
Good turn quick, get out. You gotta keep moving. Good. Hey, good, now you gotta shoot.
The moment you let up, you gonna get your throat cut. I wanted to know from day one whether my kid could hang or not. Only place we could find that was AAU, because that's where the real dudes were playing, and that's where all the attention was focused to.
Parker Cartwright. Parker Jackson Cartwright.
I'm sure everyone around the country was interested. What makes him really special to me, he's very unselfish, and he makes other players around him much better.
He has the fundamental understanding that very few point guards have in today's game.
What immediately stood out was just his overall feel for the game. He always seems to be a few plays ahead of everybody else.
Even beyond his size, what you notice right away is his innate ability with the basketball and his dynamic flair on the court, even for a kid that young and that size.
He's got a terrific vision and creativity from the point guard position. Just a really good passer, sees plays before they happen.
The real thing with Parker is there's mental toughness and physical toughness that kind of belies his size.
Bottom line, you know, coaches are looking for guys to distribute the ball, lead the team, hit the open shot when it's there, and Parker has all those skills.
You guys right now are a crucial element to the development of this brand. I didn't say team, I said brand. We produce student college athletes and pros. That's what we do. You have all been individually handpicked just for that reason.
guys are ready. We got the right fucking guys right now. We got the right fucking guys. We got these 8 guys. We're gonna go to war with these 8 motherfuckers right here. They don't wanna fucking give us our respect. We're gonna fucking take it.
This is not about me. It's not about Tony. But it is about building the brand. And the way that you help the brand is all 8 guys get Division I scholarship. These next 15 days can change your life.
We're gonna get a free education. Somebody got it. We gotta go take it. Period.
Back in the day, the colleges and their coaches and their recruiters, they controlled everything.
Back in the 60s and the 70s, the most influential person in an athlete's life was typically the high school coach. And the high school coach really had no agenda because he was typically a gym teacher, a PE teacher. He had a job, he's been there for 20, 30 years, and he also coaches football, basketball, and baseball. You're doing the coaching because you want to help people and for the love of the game. Clearly that's changed.
I believe I was the #1 player in the state that year. My father, he asked one of these recruiters, I heard that people sometimes get things, you know. So the recruiter says, well, I don't think, you know, it would be out of the question around the holidays that a turkey or something showed up at your door. And for 4 years, my father would ask me, hey, Rudy, have you heard anything about the turkey? So that's about as under the table as they went with me.
AAU basketball is summertime amateur hoops, usually played by kids from 11 to 17 who travel across country on all-star roster-like teams, playing in these vast basketball tournaments, usually backed by sneaker companies.
I do believe that AAU basketball, a long time ago, rendered high school basketball, by and large, meaningless in the recruiting process.
AAU basketball has definitely usurped high school basketball. It's more important to do well probably at the AAU level, travel ball, because that's where most of the college coaches are spotting the athletes.
AAU, because of the way it's set up, gets dibs first on what's possibly next. And there's nothing high schools can do to fight that.
I think AAU has a huge role in the basketball world. You see the talent that is put on the floor each and every weekend of the top kids going against each other, and the college coaches that are there on the sideline trying to get these young men to play for their program.
It's the feeding ground, you know, it's the nurturing ground. You spend a whole summer and watch AAU basketball and go to enough tournaments, you'll see the next generation of NBA stars.
The grassroots circuit kicks off in April with Nike's Elite Youth Basketball League. The EYBL crisscrosses the country, convening in a different city every weekend over the next 5 weeks to determine which teams qualify for Nike's Peach Jam in late July. The best players in the EYBL are invited to attend elite skills camps throughout the summer to train with NBA players. Adidas holds their own competing series of events, effectively mirroring the Nike schedule, culminating with the Adidas Super 64 in Las Vegas. The high school season begins in October and will run through March, so for these kids, basketball is a year-round occupation.
I'm a recruiter's and AAU coach's absolute worst nightmare. I know my role. I'm a loudmouth parent. You know, the perfect storm for a coach or a recruiter is to have a single mom with this phenomenal ball player and the mom not know anything about the sport. That's what they would prefer. Not with my kid. Not with my kid. I played this game. I refereed for like 15 years just so I could find out who were the best coaches in Southern California, where were the best games being played, who were the real dudes, who were the pretenders, so that when my son was ready, I could find people who could help him.
When he turned 13, just before high school, it was clear to me that we had to move over to Nike. They had a track record of bringing together all of the best players on all of the best teams. Cal Supreme is Nike's flagship team in LA, and that's how we decided to become Nike for life.
Miles is a big reason Parker's where he is right now. There's no doubt. I think There were some things that I did not know when Miles went through this. I didn't understand the full impact of the shoe company's involvement. I didn't understand that there's some key camps and key events that you have to be at in order to be ranked and in order to be recognized. It's just like any other business. There's certain conventions you gotta be at. There's certain guys whose butt you gotta kiss in order to make it. And I didn't understand that when Miles was doing it. If I had, he would have been where Parker is now.
Tonight we're leaving for Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We'll go on there for the Chris Paul point guard camp. We'll be there for 3 or 4 days. And for Parker, man, any, pro instruction, we'll take it.
I don't really like going out of town because I'm always out of town, planes, but I gotta do this.
It's all about getting a D1 scholarship for us. Nike invited us to these top position camps. It's an insane schedule, but it's the only way to get this done. It's the only way for us to get the scholarship we want.
Thank you. Take care.
The invites that we got, these are the highest level camps in the country, bar none. Dudes beg, borrow, steal, and kill to get into these camps. We were put in a situation where we could not say no.
We're confident in his handles, we're confident in his shot. We know he knows how to pass and when to pass. Now the most important thing is just imposing his will and setting the pace. If he does that, we're golden.
Seems like I just got off the plane and had to come play. We did all these intense drills. CP3, he's a great guy, great point guard. I just want to soak it up while I'm here and learn as much as I can.
If he's coming out slow, I know I might hit him in and out to get around and shoot later.
One of the first lessons I taught my kids after they started playing was the difference between pain and injury. You can play with pain. Go out and ask the guys playing with you. 90% of them are playing with something that hurts them. Injury means you can't play. Whenever you come to me and you complain, my first question is it pain or injury? Because only you know. It's pain. Here, let's treat it, take this, do this, don't do this. Get your ass out there and go balls to the wall.
Everybody across the nation wants to be in this spot. There's nothing the player can do but, just show up every day, work hard, and just battle.
Yeah, we're in Chicago for the Darren Williams camp. Nike has these position camps that they basically hold as apprenticeships for the different positions, and this is the one for Parker as a point guard. It's like being able to, if you're a violinist, study with Stravinsky for a week or something. We can't wait. We're really excited. We go to the DC Armory where the Team USA plays. We catch Parker's eye. He's sitting on the baseline. They're waiting to go on and play. And we looked at him, and he gave us this sign like, I'm gonna fucking tear this shit up. And he went out there, he played extremely well. I was very proud of him. Very, very proud of him. It's been a long year, man. He got out of school on June 7th. We left for the Chris Paul camp on June 8th. And the only time he's been back is to fly back for one day, basically to get clean laundry and come right back to the coast. So it's been hard. I'm tired, and I haven't played at all.
Mentally, it's been wearing on me. It's so much. You don't really have time to just sit and think about I'm tired, I'm hurt. Like, you just gotta keep playing, you know, keep pushing. You gotta play hard at these type of, you know, things. You get showed up by these other good players. You don't want that.
What's the issue?
It's tendon on top of my foot. It's bothering me a little bit.
You seen a doctor yet?
I haven't. I mean, I haven't really had time. I haven't been back in LA long enough to see a doctor.
The way we figure out who the best players are in this country is by just wearing them out. What distinguishes them is, can they do it against the highest level guys night in and night out? Can they do it traveling all over the country? Can they do it when they're hurt? Can they do it 4 or 5 nights in a row? The answer to that is, for most of those guys, no. So that's why that pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So like it or not, we don't have any power in this situation. We're on this train now. We're fucking going at 150 miles an hour. We gotta make it work.
I put Russell in the fucking box last night. I said, look, man, I said, I don't care what message you're getting from the kid. I'm telling you what it is, because I already know what's gonna happen. He's gonna go out there, he's gonna love it, and everything's gonna change. Yeah. It's gonna become more of an urgent situation. So I'm telling you, you need to step your urgency up. Like these other schools, they're not waiting until after the signing period. They're gonna apply pressure immediately. As soon as Rice happens, it's gonna hit the fan with everybody.
Big pressure, just real soft.
Yeah, soft pressure. We don't want to tell him what to do, but we do have to give him enough information so that hopefully he sees what he needs to do. You know what I mean? There's so much more that goes into it than just traveling and playing basketball. Like, if people knew all the emails, all the phone conversations, all the things that happen in that office, I'm a guy that's constantly promoting. So I'm not like a guy who just plays his AAU season and just chills until March. I mean, I'm doing stuff every day for the brand. I'm marketing Adidas and our brand daily. It never stops for me. Hold on a second, let me get my... Aaliyah! Come here. Come here. This is the key, guys. This is the key. She's my little helper. She does whatever I need. So come on, we're gonna walk around. Let's go. Anybody can be anywhere at this point, but... Let's get up. You ready to get this thing in, dog? Yes, sir. Pretty boy. Pretty boy, wake up. Let's go, man. You be the one-eye look, dog, or what?
As a single mom, I can't always be the one to be there to give my kids what they need, and Tope became one of those outlets that I needed. Gabriel was transitioning from young boy to young man. Tope was always there, always a steady hand, always available when Gabe needed him. He wasn't just there to coach him, he was there to be a friend, to be a family member. And Gabriel took off with that confidence.
Gabe, how often you stay here, man?
I'm usually here. I'll get here Monday and I'll stay till Thursday. And then I'll go home Thursday night at around 10:30 after we're done working out, probably 3 or 4 times a day.
All right, guys. This is another...
This is the gear room.
No part of it.
You know, when I was playing AAU, this was room to be in.
Oh, dude. What size?
Extra large.
You wish.
Are they Adidas or the Under Armour ones?
I don't have them.
These are Adidas.
Don't say that word over here. How do you weigh the success of a program? Like, how do you weigh it? Like, people, would you say you weigh it like when we play each other, who wins the game? You know, the reality of it is all that most parents care about is their kids getting a scholarship. So I would say to most people involved, the most important thing is how many kids have you gotten scholarships for? That has to be the gauge on the success of your program. If you took a dollar amount for every scholarship that you got for every kid, you know, obviously it'd be in the millions. You know, how much money have you put in the streets? So we got the young boys in here. This is part of our regiment. Hey, start off in the morning with some basketball. Then we come here to the sports lab in Rancho. We get in about 2 hours of non-basketball. No weights, all core strength training. I challenge anybody out there, in June, high school basketball, AAU, whatever you want to call it, see who's doing what we do. Who's doing this?
A-Tope is Bonham and Bailey.
Plus, hit that shit.
He's the ringmaster.
A-Tope is kind of a Ben Franklin kind of figure, kind of a man that wears many hats.
I don't care if you go 0 for 30. You get one from the box, go shoot it again. Shoot it again.
If I were to describe A-Tope, I would just give him the Don of the West Coast basketball scene.
I would say A-Tope is
I don't give a fuck if we lose the game, man. I want you guys to have fun.
I would say
Oh, okay, B. You're right, B. Okay. Get up, boy, finish. Let's go!
Administrator, advisor.
Promoter, producer, director. He's the bottle washer.
He gave me like 2 pairs of shirts the first time I met him, and I was like, well, like.
This guy A-Tope's everywhere. And even before, I don't think we had a true dealing on a player or a team. I was kept going, who's that guy?
When a college coach gets a job in Southern California, you're gonna call A-Tope and say, who should I hire?
Tope had the hustle. He could talk street, he could talk corporate.
When we play at home on the West Coast, guys are a little scared of you. So they give you just the inch you need to get your shit off.
He's a good motivator to his players. He's around a lot of his players when it comes to making college decisions.
I call him Uncle. You know, he's close with my mom, he's close with my whole family.
He's our Boo Williams of the West Coast. He's our son of Ricardo. You know, take notes. Step your game up, because he's going to make you step it up.
When I first started, we were coaching at Compton High School. We realized that other teams and high school teams were playing together in the summer. We started putting our little team together. We ended up having a team, probably had 8 or 9 Division I players. So we went on the circuit with that team, and we were beating teams. And people liked it. I mean, we were winning tournaments, but we had no ambition. We didn't intend on doing AAU. We weren't AAU guys. We were high school coaches trying to get our teams better. At that point, Adidas came in and offered us a contract. Just not many teams that get this opportunity to have a shoe sponsorship. West of Texas, there's probably only 3 teams. All these AAU teams are fighting to get some kind of money from a shoe company. We're very fortunate to have a situation with a shoe company that's sponsoring us.
A shoe sponsorship entails 3 key things: gear, money, and access to the most prestigious recruiting events. The shoe companies supply the AAU coach with cash to fund his team's travel expenses and exclusive gear to recruit the best players from his area. The renewal of these deals is generally predicated on one thing: securing the best young prospects to wear their brand.
Hey, listen up, quiet. We got some rules to go over, all right? This is a business trip. As far as behavior with other teams in the hotel, carry yourself with class. You are representing our organization, remember that.
You know, this year we're gonna have probably 15 guys committed going to college before the end of September. And that's probably gonna be more than all the power teams in California combined. But I really think in the next 3 to 4 years, we will have at least 2 to 3 guys in every draft. That's a lot for any AAU program.
I want blood, I want glory, I want beat. Run them the fuck out of the gym.
With winning comes offense. If one of our big guys has a great game, guess what happened? School start offering. Listen, all I'm saying is this, guys. Listen, we have a ton of coaches here today. Perform. Next week, it's going to be even more intensified. The more we roll as a unit, more shit comes in.
Magic on 3, Daly on 6. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6.
Right when I joined Compton Magic, I started to get questionnaires from different colleges in the mail. And I know it's just him because he contacts schools and throws my name out there, so it's definitely a big help. And you go to games and there's 15 college coaches watching you, and we're only 16 years old, so that definitely helps out too.
I just feel like everybody knows Tope. He's just that guy that everyone loves and wants to be around. They all know him, trust him, because he always gets the good word out about players, and so that's why when he's saying good things about us, we know that colleges are hearing good things about us.
He's everything to our recruitment. I mean, without him, we wouldn't get any looks, any offers. So, I love him. I appreciate him for everything he does. He works tremendously hard for us.
In June, go. AJ played at Cal, big-time player in high school, so he's done a lot of pre-draft training. So he's a great workout guy who's involved in high school, involved in college, and involved with pro guys. There's nobody in any AAU program that has that kind of pedigree.
There are a lot of people like myself who are highly educated who could be doing other things and do it for no other reason than either the kids or because they're tied into someone. Tope is that person for us. I mean, right now, these are prime training hours that I could be spending in the gym, and I have to call my pros and tell them I gotta go work with some kids that aren't even mine, and it's for no other reason but Tope.
You gotta play hard, you gotta play through the refs. All right, the X's and O's should be very simple. We ain't been chasing y'all around the hotels. We've been letting you pretty much do what the fuck you wanna do. Now, if you can't fucking dig deep, fuck you then. Straight up.
Spoon is our street liaison. He's the underboss. Don't get me wrong, he's a great coach as well, but he's also the guy who's super connected in the street.
I don't hide who I am. I'm from the city of Long Beach, you know what I'm saying? I'm an ex-gang member. I still live in my community. Like, even my kids want to talk to me, they come right to my front door.
I used to be that guy, and I can't be everywhere.
I might call my homeboy from the west side of Compton, Whack, and say, hey, man, it's this kid over there, man, that got talent, man. I'm trying to get at him and meet his family. And, I'll come through the hood and he give me a pass, and I'll go through there and meet the kid and tell the family what we can offer.
Fish is the West Side guru. So, West Side's real important. I mean, there's a lot of things going on the West Side that we really haven't touched as a brand. We're trying to permeate into other areas and make sure that we're not missing out on any talent. Fish has a well-known reputation through Hoop Masters as a coach, as a mentor, as a trainer, all these different things that he does on the West Side on his own. We had to bring Fish in because Fish actually gives us access to a demographic that we really didn't have in the past.
Tope has a better record of taking guys that aren't on anyone's radar, getting them on the radar in where it's possible, getting their status elevated.
We got a lot of shit going on the street that everyone needs to be cognizant of so we can keep everything together. Our elite team is what it is now is beautiful. It's probably the most marketable team in the country. We got 4 4.0s in that starting lineup. Probably got the 2 most athletic white kids in the country. I mean, do you understand the marketability of that team? How marketable that team is? It's insane. We are sexy as fuck. That leaves us less responsibility all during this year. That team's done. It's recruited. We're not running around chasing guys, trying to lock guys off. I mean, all we're doing is doing what I did today, dropping our guys' bags, our main guys' bags right now. Upkeep.
But I heard they got another 6th, 8th grader. No, he's a freshman. He ain't enrolled yet. The kid from Chicago. He living with somebody right now. I got to find out.
Ethan Thompson.
That kid is special.
So as everyone's out there looking for kids, anyone who has it in there, you, we need to really start pushing that. We're building that team around Ethan, period. Put the gas on the shit.
Whenever you see him, whenever you see TK, whenever you see his mom, Nicole, full court press.
Coaches that are interested in me and all the other top players around the country will be at the Peach Jam. All the top schools, Arizona, UCLA, Kentucky, every important coach, you've seen on TV, they'll be there.
We went through that long, hard grind at EYBL to earn the right to go to Peach Jam. So it's all about Peach Jam for us.
Lawrence Blackman, and this is my main man, Michael Jordan. This is something you can buy.
Mike, I got my own shoes. My own initials on it.
Yeah, well, I have my own shoes with my own name on it.
You obviously can't deny the fact that the main reason AAU basketball blew up in the mid-'90s was the shoe companies. No secret that the war between Nike and George Raveling was doing with his troops and what Sonny Vaccaro at Adidas was doing, competing, trying to get the top players, basically was to go to each of their camps respectively, really put AAU basketball on the map.
AAU is a shoe word. You know, it's shoe companies versus other shoe companies. The best way to sell shoes is to have the best representative of the game wearing your shoe. Well, how do you do that? Let's make this kid the best representative.
In the summertime, when school is over, what do we call that? Vacation. The rules are not applicable to them. It's a calendar space, it's a cultural space that has gone ungoverned.
And because there's not the same sort of institutional scrutiny, it creates a situation where all sorts of immoral, illegal, sort of questionable activities can transpire.
You know, you find the people that influence the kid's life. Is it a mom? Is it a dad? Is it an uncle? Is it a cousin? You know, everybody comes from different backgrounds. So you just try to find out. It could be their religious advisor. And you make a connection with them. I get a call from Parker. I'm going to make some time. You know, he was a Nike kid. He was one of my guys.
You know, Adidas is telling our guys, we need you to get the best guys. Nike, we need you to get the best guys. In any other business, sometimes guys just take it too far.
Oh my God. We getting all of these?
Your Adidas team, your Nike team, I mean, it's like your colors, unfortunately.
But they say we gang banging, you know, you gotta hold up your set. We roll with 3 stripes, man. That three stripes life.
What you banging?
Ultimately, we all want one thing. We want to drive retail. We want to drive sales.
If they're not making money, the NCAA is going to come in and make money, and the NBA is going to come in and make money off of it. Somebody's going to make money off of it. You make money off the youth.
I wasn't even thinking about if I don't make it. It was like, no, this is my way out. I'm going to go as far as this ball's going to take me. The only way I can sum it up is like being a rock star. When you know, people know the intrigue and the mystique at the same time. I mean, you're going to the NBA out of high school. You know, Nike at the time was showing a lot of interest, and you know, they were talking about having me come in and basically take over where Jordan left off. And I just got used to the feeling of success, tasting it, and I didn't want anything else. You're doing well on the court, and everything else is coming to you. I mean, there was no loophole. There was no kink in the chain. It was foolproof. I mean, you come to see me play, I put on a show, everybody falls in love.
That are selected from the various leagues. Oh, shit!
I was 15, 16 years old. 25, 26-year-old women are trying to hit on me in high school. It's like, where do you go from there? Mentally, how do you process that and stay motivated and stay grounded and stay away from all these evils that are just trying to suck you in like a vortex? They forget about you real fast.
At some point, when the player becomes a rated player, then that player is an asset. It's an asset to the summer program, it's an asset to the shoe company, and it's an asset to the college. Everybody's trying to get a piece of that asset. And you can say that's a cynical way to look at it, but how else would you look at it?
Every AAU club has covert involvement by agents and runners. Those are people who represent agents under the table.
The whole goal of a basketball agent is access, right? You got to cozy up to a potential client, a player. How do you do that, right? How do you get close to a kid? Well, you get close to that kid by getting to him through who? Somebody, the AAU coach. They're the ones that are closest to the kids. So they're the gatekeepers. So what you have is, across the country, agents develop relationships with AAU coaches. This is the most open secret in AAU basketball.
It's very difficult to finance this whole process without the involvement of those agents, either directly or indirectly. They're a necessary evil. They really are.
There's so many different dynamics going on financially here in amateur sports that, is it really amateur?
They're gonna go crazy over these.
out to the world. Bing! I'm taking our whole portfolio to Facebook, to Twitter, to Instagram.
As soon as I put this out, I have a ton of comments. I need some of those. I need some. I got comments from guys that are in class right now.
I'm trying to take a little bit of the street, a little bit of corporate America, put it together, and create a situation that just becomes the benchmark for what teams are trying to do. One day, I was hanging out with one of my kids named Shannon Sharp. He was like, "Hey, man, Tote, your sock game is whack." And I was like, "What? Sock game? What are you talking about?"
So after he told me that, I started looking around. I started noticing that all the kids, all they care about is socks.
So I'm like, okay, that's the way we can be different. So we went and we branded our own socks along with Ball is Life. And it's been a unanimous hit.
That's good. What's up, gang, man? We're gonna keep it Compton magic, man. You know what it is, man. We got socks. Your city got their own socks? Socks.
Anytime I can co-brand with an A-list rapper like Game, I mean, you know, we're gonna do that to put our foothold in this basketball game. I mean, it's gonna give us that much more juice, I mean, with the kids in the streets. He's wearing our socks every game, and it's all over Instagram. I mean, it's huge for us. And I think that we're gonna start exploring, obviously, more avenues with hip-hop basketball synergy. Kids are watching mixtapes. They're not watching TV. They probably don't even watch games. For the market, I would say, what, 14 to 25? You know, Ball's Life is TV. If you get hot, that tape goes out, people start watching, coaches watch. So when they Google you, if that Ball's Life mixtape comes up, you know, they're gonna watch that because it's a quick blurb of what they want to see. Gabe York is a household name because of Ball's Life.
When we put out a video on Gabe, getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views, that's the type of exposure that we want to give a player. Forming that relationship with Atope, it was kind of like, let's build your brand and ours at the same time.
Gabe York is very special. I feel like I'm the surrogate father in the situation. I had him since the 8th grade. First time I ever saw him was at Long Beach Jordan, you know, just playing in the showcase. And immediately, you know, he goes up and I want to say he got a dunk or like barely got one, you know, and I'm like, whoa. So obviously, you know, I did my deal, looked around the gym, tried to figure out who his mom was, figured that out, jumped in, and come to find, you know, he really wasn't, you know, spoken for as far as an AAU team. So we pretty much got in there quick. And from that point, it's just been all great things.
It was a privilege to have Gabriel play with you for 4 years total.
I love Gabe, and I'm just here to say I love you, and I'll be there all the way. He's had a great career to this point, and it's just beginning, and I'll see you on Tuesday.
College is a fresh start. No one has rankings, no one any of that. So it's definitely going to be a big deal just because I'm ready to go out and make a name for myself when I get there. And then being able to try and get that starting spot as a freshman, just going out and being able to score and do what I do best, I think everything else will take care of itself. I'm not going to disappoint you.
It starts tomorrow, man.
Got you. Love you.
All right.
You guys have fun.
High school basketball season doesn't mean shit to me. Doesn't mean shit to my kid. It's all about the summer. college coaches only get to see you during the summer. So if I've got to make a trade-off between the high school season and the summer, shit, high school season goes right away. There's no tough decision at all on that. And I apologize because, you know, the season means a lot to Parker on a personal level. I know, but in terms of his career, it doesn't mean as much.
At the start of the season, you know, I felt good, you know, about it, and it didn't really cause a problem until just late in the season when we had to prioritize what my real goals were. Just, you know, in fact, of, you know, getting my foot healthy. But then I went to the doctor, and, you know, he told me I had to sit out, so, you know, then that was a family decision from there. So.
It's painful. It's hard to make yourself do. It's feeling a little bit better, but...
Yeah, he was complaining a lot.
And you're gonna see a lot more parents having to make that choice, especially, you know, as your kid gets ranked higher and higher and higher and there's more attention on him. You gotta be playing at your best when those coaches are watching, and that's during the summer, period.
Okay, walk around again. Try touching your toes, see how it feels so far. Go to the games.
Oh, yeah.
No, let's be straight about it. Nike's selling shoes, Ramon is selling Parker. And the best way to have that happen, from my standpoint, is have Parker go back this summer and redo all of those camps. The big incentive is, hey, if we want Nike support, right, we got to do Nike's thing, right? Right, so we got, you know, if they tell us to go to those camps, we're going to show up and gratefully show up and accept those invitations and then go out there and bust people's ass, right?
We've never traveled this much during the spring. We're gonna have 4 teams that are traveling, so we're gonna be traveling 50 people on the plane. It's gonna be a very, very expensive year this year. This is what we do on the road in AAU. We play the games, and then we wash their dirty drawers. Oh! Then we wake up early in the morning and do it again. Everyone thinks we have a great time. It's all fun and games. This is what we do. I'm eating a Jimmy John sandwich in the mat.
John T. And Washington.
They've never been on a big stage with this many coaches. Coaching them to the stage by blitzing their ass from the beginning. They don't believe they can play with you unless you give them an opportunity.
Started off unbelievable. And then obviously, as in basketball, things happen.
Too many guys are trying to do the odd and impress coaches. You know what impress coaches? Winning by 40.
You know, when I see a coach, sometimes I overthink and I start struggling, and that's the biggest thing I'm working on, is just not thinking so much on the court and just going off of my instincts and not worrying about pleasing anybody else, but just living up to my own expectations.
Our kids are entitled. They're privileged because they have certain things that other kids don't have. We're a sponsored team. They're not. You go up and down, you win, you lose, and our older guys ended up getting beat. So that loss today, actually, to an LA team, hurt. You know, moving forward, we have another week. Backs against the wall with these guys. It's important that we show well in front of everybody over there, because obviously, you know, when parents and people in LA are picking a program, we got to show that we're better than this. You know, because right now, obviously, too, we're in a contract year. So, you know, it's going to be very important for us to put together a good, strong finish because they know that the future's bright in our program, and that's going to help, hopefully, strengthen that relationship we have with our brand.
Juggling all of the basketball is tough, especially with school, because you have to figure out where your priorities are. You know, people think, okay, you know, when you're in high school, then you have some downtime, you can kind of chill, and then gradually go into the AAU season. But, you know, for elite, I think elite athletes that play at a high level, it never really stops.
Ultimately, it's up to him to say, this hurts, that hurts, I can't move, I can't do it. I think there are times that we allowed him to play when physically he shouldn't have.
In the back of my mind, I always knew I was going to come back for the playoffs. You know, nothing was going to stop me from that. I was cool with sitting out in the middle, which is the league, but not the playoffs.
Two-starter for Atlanta, number 3, Parker Jackson Cartwright. Let's see who's going to Sacramento.
When I got hurt again, you know, it was just disappointment. You know, like, it's happening again. Like, how am I gonna recover from this, knowing that it just happened like a couple months ago? So many things run through your mind. It's not just like one thing, but, you know, just wanting to cry, but you can't cry. You know, wanting to give up. It's like letting the team down.
We were just completely deflated when that happened. Look, players play, spectators watch. He's a player. If that means he's gonna risk injury and perhaps even serious injury where he may never play again, then so be it. 2 tears in a bucket, turn around and say, fuck it. That's what this is about. It's about playing.
We have a sweep in Pac-12 because we have a large contingent of our guys in the Pac-12 that are doing very well. As you know, in any business, in anything that you do, networking is crucial.
Are you gonna have me on this tomorrow? Screaming in the crowd like I was today?
Inside out offense, penetration and dish. Inside one more time early in the shot clock.
He said I was going to be a big part of this team coming in as a freshman going into March. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that for me to commit and then go back on your word.
Last year, which is less than 12 months ago, you were, if not the elite scoring guard in the country, or the elite scorer in the country. Shit ain't changed. This isn't what you want. It's fine. Just say it, and we can all, move on. And I can find a place that will love my guy and let him do what he needs to do. They like Gabe, and they feel that he can be a successful player there, but they don't. I don't know if they see it that soon, and that doesn't match Gabe's plan. I mean, that's what I'm saying, that they don't match. I mean, because I think that Gabe has better aspirations than that. I mean, I got the Knicks and the Pacers in here. I mean, we're supposed to be talking about his shit right now. That's what we're supposed to be doing right now.
I know more than anybody that nothing is just given to you. You have to earn everything. I understand that. But I've earned more than 2 minutes a day. And you already took my whole freshman year. You literally just ripped it away.
And it's very fair for me to be very firm about what the next step is. I'm making this decision. If we do leave, the conversation between me and that head coach is going to be, okay, if I do bring him, he's going to have to be on the floor the whole time. That spot is his spot. He will be on the floor.
Recruiting is, it's overwhelming at times, and it's mentally, it's draining, drowning, because, coaches are coming every day, and it's just like, I want to make this shot, I don't want to turn the ball over, and you want to do the right things, and these past couple years for me in recruiting have been tough, because, I've been hurt, and I'm just like, what do I do? I don't know what to do at this point. This is a reoccurring injury. It's been happening for the past 3 years. And it's just like, damn, I don't know if the coaches still want me. I don't know where my future is gonna go if I can't get healthy. He's injury prone. He's already small. How is he gonna maintain? Like, I didn't know what to do. 18-year-old kid, I didn't take that well.
Some injuries in the early spring, didn't quite play up to his potential. He had offers very early. He just wasn't the same player, and he never recovered that. Toward the end of the season, when Loyola lost, he mentioned it in the press conference that he just never recovered from his injuries.
As a sports writer, as an observer, it raised some questions from my end. How durable is he? And his injuries, for whatever reasons, the ankle and other problems, really slowed him down and caused problems.
When you go to these camps or, these Nike UIVO tournaments, they're structured, they're organized, all the money they're putting into it, they want you to put it in back, and they want you to, groom yourself and look the part and play the part, and, now if you have an even bigger target on your back, if you have a bad game and somebody gets, the edge on you, you're not that good, you're overrated. The whole culture has changed from when I was little playing and now, so.
Recruiting and rating services are big businesses. So where a player's rated becomes an issue.
I think the rankings are sort of the most detestable thing about AAU basketball, right? You've got men who can't possibly see all of these kids ranking them.
People like me were way ahead of the game in terms of covering this grassroots basketball world, knowing who all the players are. The more you can do with recruiting, the more money you're going to make, the more subscribers you're going to get, the better off you're going to be.
And then to gain an edge over the other guy ranking him, they just keep ranking younger and younger and younger kids. It's not only impossible, but it's like perverse. If you put that label on a kid and he doesn't succeed, he considers himself a failure.
And I think one of the things that happens, the danger, is we may look at a youngster and label him as being, quote, all that, and he may be for a period of time. But we're only developing a part of this child, and we fail to develop other aspects. And the other aspects to me are much more prominent and much more important, i.e. their maturational processes, the ability to think, intellectual development, the thirst for knowledge, the thirst for learning, etc. So we end up with one-dimensional youth, and that's a huge problem.
To bamboozle them into believing that they're the king when in reality, they ain't got it yet. They might have the natural ability, but they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the fundamentals, they don't have the mental training.
It's a lot of pressure, man. Like the psychological development behind that is tough because most kids, don't have that much pressure on them. And then once you get all that attention on you, you have to produce and you have to play well. Or everybody, what's going on? Like, what are you doing?
The biggest sacrifice in my life that I had to do was probably give up a lot of fun things that I wanted to do as a kid.
The kids don't get to be kids as much, and I would just probably try to figure out a way to just have a little bit more time to just grow up and mature and enjoy themselves and not be almost like pros at age, 15.
You're too young to really know who you are or what your place in the world is, and you're just really trying to, at that point in your life, have a little freedom so you can go date, you can go hang out, and at the same time, you have people that are a lot older and a lot wiser come into your life because they see where you're gonna be in 10 years.
And seeing myself as one-dimensional is a problem. I don't care who we are, because we're all multi-dimensional. But to see myself as one-dimensional, I don't see any other opportunity. All I can do is ball.
We got hurt in Dallas?
No, and yeah.
That's the last time you got hurt?
I re-hurt it. I couldn't really tell people, I'm hurt, I can't go. And I would just play through it and not show any, pain or anything.
Especially as you go up in levels, and in this sport, you have to really know your body.
You feel like you're okay enough to go in shape, strong enough? I mean, there's no sense going to those camps if you're not gonna show well. But then you're gonna say, well, I'm hurt. And then everybody's gonna be like, well, why are you here?
Nah, I understand how I've been doing stuff to get ready.
You wanna be at the top of your game, right? A camp like that. Are you at the top of your game? You sound like a lot of conviction in that answer. Oh, yeah.
I used to torture him. Every time we would play in the backyard, it would just be me talking trash. Even when I wasn't playing as well, because I would just kill him.
Nerf basket.
Yeah, whatever.
8
It could
foot.
be anything we do. I'm gonna talk trash to him and let him know. Especially when I'm winning, I'm gonna let him know about it. So. We kind of came into AAU together. He was 5 and I was 8 years old when we both came in. So in terms of now, I really don't have to say much to him. He's very mature and humble and ready for, this spotlight, so to say.
One more distance. Good. As the drills go on, you're hugging the line, and you should be shooting at least at the college, almost always at the college line, which you did sometimes, but you should be almost always at the college line and really trying to stretch it out to get back to where I know you had that kind of range before, right? And so get back to where you've got confidence every time you shoot it from there. Other than that, I think that's it. It's a good workout. Good enough? Yeah. Always good to see you guys.
With John, he is probably the only coach that can take credit for developing Parker. Even now, when he needs to work on something, he says, I need John. And John is the one, could care less. Parker's ranked here, Parker's ranked there. He does not buy into the hype at all. And I think that's the bond that they have.
I want to win. It's my last AAU season that, I'll play. So, I just want to win as many games as I can and have a good summer,
would say he lost his naivete over the last 2 years. I think before he got injured, everything came easy. He never thought that anything could happen that could even impact his ability to do what he wants to do on the court. And I also think that he never thought that those people who were always in his ear telling him how great he was, he never thought that they would perhaps turn on him too and say, oh, you're not as good as you used to be, or, you know, hey, there's another kid over here that we like better than you, that kind of thing. And I think in some ways that kind of cut him. I mean, he has that kind of, because he's like me, you cut me like that, all right, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna bust your ass, you gonna regret that. I'm gonna make you swallow those words with a cup full of my piss. You just wait. Must have forgot. Look, that's the real deal right there. That was my line all week.
Jackson started to take a liking to his game and started to watch him closely, and he'll be able to excel with the way he plays, with distributing the ball. Being a floor general, he has a great feel for the game and high IQ player. That's what I like to call him.
Parker Jackson Cartwright, San Jose, California, PG, class of 2014.
It was extremely gratifying for us to see him come out and just destroy people.
Tweet out to Arizona fans.
I think it was shocking for a lot of those people there who had written him off and thought, they had overrated him earlier.
Vegas is the pinnacle of the summer. You got 100, 200 coaches every game. I mean, it's crazy. It's madness. Guys are blowing up left and right. I mean, it's just, it really can change lives.
Hey, let's get our package going. Let's go. Let's get this package going right here. All right, you ready, Zach? Let's go.
You on the phone?
No. I just got out.
You just got off it? Bye.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Florida?
You're not excited?
I tried it. I can't even fathom it right now.
Good job. Good job. That's hard work. All right. That's hard work paying off. Right? Florida!
Yeah. I didn't even know what to say. Like, I was so happy. So.
Wow. Yeah, Cam. That's my nigga. That's my boy right there.
Hey, get off my phone. Yeah, you're shut up.
Push your sand, it's gonna hurt.
Who was there checking you today?
I don't know. I saw Kent State, Michigan. I know Florida was there. Harvard, I think. Boston College.
I'm just gonna put some more ice in.
It's like the NBA championship of AAU. Financially, all the people are gonna be there, the Adidas guys, the brand guys. I mean, for us, as a program and a brand, super important for us to bring one of those championships home.
Wish I was 16 right there. God damn. I live for these motherfucking guys. I swear to God, I do. We're gonna be great today. We're gonna be great today. All nine locked in. The coaching staff can't want it more than you. I will put somebody on their motherfucking ass for that goddamn trophy. I'm tired of coming this motherfucker losing. We need this shit right here. If you want your goddamn respect, you gotta come get it right now. Well, I'll tell you on your chest, you got Compton. Them people who get knocked down, but they get back up every morning and go to work. They losing family members. You representing a community. All right, let's go, man. Let's win this shit. All right, let's go.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, family on 6. 1, 2, 3. Magic. 4, 5, 6. 7.
The Compton Magic 16s take on in the dark jerseys from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, PA Compton Run.
I need you to be fucking nasty. All right, now it's time. Blood in the fucking water. Let's go get this shit.
Been there on Championship Sunday. We've been there in the Final Four a bunch of times and not came through. Man, it was great. Big time.
Hey, let's go. Magic on 3, family on 6. 1, 2, 3, Magic. 4, 5, 6, family.
Park wants to go on the visits and see the bitches and go to the parties, walk in the gym and have you have a picture of him up on. I'm telling y'all how to recruit. Big picture of him up on the screen in one of y'all's jerseys with his number, which is 0. He's only gonna have Jackson Cartwright on his back. He won't, you know, unless you have no name. But if you have a name on the back, it's gonna say Jackson-Cartwright. So he's gonna take all those visits. So far, he hasn't told me. And I'm not pressuring him. So for us, rather than looking at the recruitment process as selling a house, we looked at it as if it were finding a mate, a soulmate. When you find that right woman, the minute you do, you'll know who she is.
You take not being able to breathe.
Now, you'll probably do like all of us do. You'll still screw around and you'll talk to some other girls and you'll date and you'll try to figure out, test yourself to see if she's really the one.
Her sister, she has a twin.
But at the end of the day, you know she's the one. So the question is, once you find her, what you waiting on? So that's what happened with Arizona. I think sitting there with Parker, early on,
I watched that relationship with Sean Miller develop, and I knew early on this was one, mainly because of the relationship that was being built there.
Yo, James. We got a couple. I know of a couple addresses.
Are you FaceTiming?
I'm calling. No. He.
Okay, bro, we're ready. Oh, what's up, Stevie Steve?
What's up?
Oh, yeah, great.
That's
Wide
good.
angle.
What does that say?
11, 16, 13.
And then it's 6:51 p.m. Good. It's bittersweet, but it's a great feeling. Speechless, actually.
Yay, we're proud of you.
What's bittersweet about it, man? I'm curious.
Just a lot of hard work, finally, just finally where I want to be, and, just countless hours in the gym and just, working hard in school and stuff like that. And this is like the new beginning of a new journey for me, so it's a lot of emotions right now.
For all the family members ain't here.
Cheers.
And the ones that got to come. Prosperity and good health. Cheers.
Good thing you're spilling it all over yourself.
Ramon, what sticks out the most to you, man, looking back on all of this?
The 11 and under nationals in Orlando when he was 5 years old and he hit the jumper. Remember that, Miles? Yeah. It was off an assist from Miles.
We were up. We knew we had the game in hand. There was about 40 seconds left or whatever. Miles was the captain. We get the ball, he runs over to John, asks John to call timeout. John calls a timeout. He begs him to put Parker in. Put Parker in as a 6-year-old. And first play out, man, they come out. Miles runs a play, throws it over to Park. Park, little pump fake, travels. One dribble, puts up a pull-up J, man. I'll never forget. That was a
big shot, though, man. Big time pull-up.
Game winner.
Game winner. I just can't wait to go to the first official Arizona game when he steps on that court. I cannot wait to feel that energy, to see that crowd, and that's when it becomes real. He is a college basketball player. No, I won't.
Man,
no.
I'm gonna
You
get
hear
it in, bro. Lord have mercy. You can just get ready. You just know how I'm gonna get down. You know how I get down, bro.
Trust me, I won't let that.
Yeah, she don't have no control.
When a guy goes to college, most AAU teams, it's like, okay, we get you to college and we did our job and on to the next 8th grader, But for us, I think, we try to be involved in the guys' lives, all the way through.
Why do college coaches have to listen to you?
Well, the reality of it is they're gonna recruit my players. So like my team right now, we're loaded. And we have probably 4 top 20 guys that they'll be recruiting every single one of those kids. You see me around, everyone follows me on Twitter, I'm everywhere. I see all my guys, places where I need to be, I'm trying to be there. Just so guys know that, there's still people around that care. Obviously, the AAU, college, and pros are completely all intertwined. It's all one deal because the reality of it is I can have a guy on my AAU team right now, and he will be one of the top players in college basketball in a year, and then he will be a first-round draft pick the next year. So, you're talking about a 3-year process that's like AAU, college, pros.
I think the future of AAU is only going to grow. As the popularity of the game grows, the popularity of AAU will grow right alongside it. And when the popularity of the game is growing, the talent pool is growing because more kids are playing basketball.
The answer to most of these questions is money. Why does this have money? Athletes are used to make other people money. and they're used on the grassroots level, and they are making people millions.
I see the future of AAU basketball as uncertain right now. As long as kids are playing basketball and kids are buying shoes, you're going to have companies like Adidas who are going to want to have involvement. It'll be interesting to see what parents do at home, parents who have 8 and 9-year-olds who want their kids to be players, and how far parents are willing to go to put their kids in a position to have access to the best. There's new 6th grade parents every year. Little Johnny or little Ray is pretty good outside. He's going to want him to have the best opportunity. So what's he going to do? He's going to take him off his town YMCA team. He's going to be that dad. He's going to get on the phone, start texting other dads and say, hey, we can create this super team. And that's how it starts.